Hello, my friend. You've likely heard it said before, repetition is the mother of all learning. But why is that? Why is it that when you want to make a real change in your life, especially when it comes to your beliefs or behaviors, repetition becomes so vital? Let's explore that together. The truth is, every single one of us operates based on paradigms. These paradigms are deeply rooted mental habits and beliefs that guide almost everything we do, often without us realizing it. They dictate how we think, how we act, and even how we perceive the world around us. Paradigms are not inherently good or bad, they are simply the programming that has been instilled in us over the years, often from childhood. Now, if you want to change your results, whether in your finances, relationships, health, or any other area, you have to change the paradigm. And here's the key, a paradigm doesn't shift overnight. It doesn't change because you've read a book, attended a seminar, or had a moment of inspiration. It changes through consistent, deliberate effort, and repetition is the tool that makes it happen. Think about it this way, your current paradigm has been reinforced over years, even decades. It's like a well-worn path in a forest. Every time you've thought a certain way or acted a certain way, you've walked that path again, making it deeper and more ingrained. Changing a paradigm is like creating a new path altogether. The first few times, it feels awkward, even unnatural. But with repetition, walking that new path over and over again, it becomes just as familiar and effortless as the old one. Let's take an example. Suppose you want to move from a scarcity mindset to one of abundance. If your current paradigm says, money is hard to come by, that belief has been reinforced over years. To shift it, you can't just say, I believe in abundance now, and expect the change to stick. You have to constantly feed your mind with thoughts of abundance, through affirmations, visualization, and surrounding yourself with ideas and people who align with that new belief. Repetition is necessary because it helps reprogram your subconscious mind, where paradigms live. The subconscious mind doesn't operate like the conscious mind. It doesn't analyze or question, it simply accepts what it's given, but only if it's given consistently. That's why repeating a new idea or belief, again and again, is so powerful. Over time, the subconscious begins to accept it as truth, and the paradigm starts to shift. Here's the thing, at first, repetition might feel tedious. You might think, why do I have to keep saying this affirmation? Why do I need to write my goals every day? I already know what I want. But this process isn't about knowing. It's about internalizing. Repetition moves the new belief from your conscious mind to your subconscious, where it becomes part of who you are. Let me give you a practical tip. Write your new paradigm down and carry it with you. Look at it multiple times a day. Say it out loud when you wake up in the morning and before you go to sleep at night. These simple acts of repetition might seem small, but they have an enormous impact over time. Another important aspect of repetition is emotion. When you repeat something, infuse it with feeling. The subconscious mind responds more strongly to emotion than to logic. If you're affirming, I am wealthy and abundant, say it with conviction. Feel the excitement and gratitude as if it were already true. This emotional repetition accelerates the paradigm shift. There's also a neurological basis for repetition. Scientists have discovered that when you repeatedly focus on a new idea or behavior, you're creating new neural pathways in your brain. At first, these pathways are weak, like a fragile thread. But with repetition, they become stronger and more established, eventually replacing the old pathways tied to your previous paradigm. I know this can feel like a lot of effort, but let me remind you, you're worth it. The life you want, the results you desire, are on the other side of your current paradigm. And the only way to get there is to do the work of repetition. This is about transforming who you are at a fundamental level, not just changing what you do temporarily. Now, let's address a common misconception. Some people think that once they've shifted a paradigm, the work is done. But maintaining a new paradigm also requires repetition. Think of it like physical fitness. You don't go to the gym for a few weeks, build some muscle, and then stop exercising forever. The same is true for mental fitness. To sustain your new paradigm, you must continue to nurture it with consistent thoughts, habits, and actions. I want to emphasize something else: don't be discouraged if the process feels slow. Changing paradigms is not about speed, it's about consistency. Even if you're only taking small steps every day, those steps add up. Celebrate the progress you're making, no matter how small it seems. Repetition is also crucial when it comes to building confidence in your new paradigm. The more you affirm and act on it, the more natural it becomes. Over time, you'll start to notice changes, not just in your thoughts, but in your actions, your results, and even the way others respond to you. Remember, your paradigms were created through repetition, and they will be replaced the same way. It's a simple process, but it's not always easy. It requires commitment, discipline, and a willingness to stay the course, even when it feels uncomfortable or inconvenient. When we discuss the necessity of repetition in shifting paradigms, we must also consider the role of consistency in actions. Repetition is not limited to affirmations or thoughts, it extends into what you do daily. Every action you take is either reinforcing an old paradigm or building a new one. If your current paradigm keeps you stuck in inaction or procrastination, you must challenge it with repetitive, deliberate actions that reflect the change you wish to create. Small, consistent efforts compound over time and have a significant impact. For instance, if you're trying to build confidence, regularly stepping slightly outside your comfort zone, even in minor ways, gradually rewires how you perceive yourself. It's also important to factor in how repetition creates alignment. To truly change a paradigm, your thoughts, emotions, and actions must be congruent. You can't think positively while feeling negative or acting in opposition to your new belief. Repetition allows these three areas to come into alignment. When your thoughts repeatedly affirm your new paradigm, your emotions begin to shift in response, and your actions follow suit. This alignment creates a powerful momentum that makes it easier to sustain the new paradigm over time. Another aspect of repetition that often gets overlooked is its power to build resilience. When you're trying to replace an old paradigm, you'll encounter resistance, not just from within yourself but also from external circumstances. Challenges and setbacks are inevitable, but repetition strengthens your ability to persevere. Each time you reaffirm your new paradigm, even in the face of difficulty, you're reinforcing your commitment to change. This resilience is what allows you to keep going when the process feels tough or uncertain. One of the fascinating things about repetition is how it rewires your perception of time. When you consistently focus on your new paradigm, you become more present and intentional in your daily life. Instead of being caught in the autopilot of old habits, you start noticing opportunities and possibilities that align with your new way of thinking. This shift in perception is subtle but powerful. It allows you to act with greater clarity and purpose. Repetition also has a cumulative effect. In the beginning, it might feel like nothing is changing, but over time, the small shifts you've been making start to add up. Think of it like filling a jar with drops of water. At first, the changes might seem imperceptible, but eventually, the jar overflows. This cumulative effect is why it's so important to trust the process and stay consistent, even when progress seems slow. So, here's my challenge to you: identify one paradigm you want to change. Write down the new belief you want to adopt, and commit to repeating it daily for the next 30 days. Keep track of your progress, and notice how your thoughts and feelings begin to shift. You have the power to change any paradigm that no longer serves you. Repetition is the key to unlocking that power. It's the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. And the best part? Once you've shifted one paradigm, you'll realize you can do it again and again in every area of your life. Keep going, my friend. You're capable of incredible growth and transformation, and the effort you put in today will create a brighter tomorrow. As we wrap up, I want you to take this message to heart: the life you desire is entirely within your reach, but it requires you to take consistent, deliberate action. Repetition is the bridge that connects your current reality to the one you're striving for. Each thought, word, and action aligned with your new paradigm brings you closer to that reality. I'd like to take this opportunity to encourage you to act now. If this message resonated with you, don't let it stop here. Let's create a ripple effect together. Please like this video if you found value in what was shared. Everyone likes to let others know that this content can help them too. Your support means everything. Hit the subscribe button so you can receive more insights like this, designed to help you transform your life one step at a time. When you subscribe, you're not just joining a channel, you're making a commitment to your growth.